Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Talking Tradesman. In the studio with me today, I have none other than the legend that is Lewis Lai from LL Carpentry.
Yes, thank
Lou,
you.
how are you, man? Let's talk.
I'm all good. I'm all good. Thanks for having me on, Russ.
Mate, as always, I'm always really grateful of all my guests giving up their time and effort to come and sit down with me and have a chat. So massive thank you to you.
It's all right. It's all right.
Let's get into the LL Carpentry. I said this before, pre-record, like an X-Men thing, the origin story. So yeah, let's get into your story, Lou. How you got started. Like, let's go back as far as you think is relevant. And
Ooh,
first of all, a lot of people know you because obviously the way you talk is quite unique.
Yes.
Let's like go all the way back.
All the way back.
All the way
Oh,
back.
damn, that's gonna be a long story. Grab some popcorn, guys. No, I'm joking. No. So, how I really started, like, let's say I started to trade, is like pretty much how everyone is straight after school and go to college and all that stuff, really. And
How was school for you? Where did you go to school?
so I went to school called Avon Valley, which is a performing art, which I didn't really like anyway. So school for me was all right. I wasn't really the best because I lost interest of school, really. Like, the day I started secondary school, I lost interest, really.
What area was this? Like what?
In
area?
rugby. So
Oh, okay.
that's where I'm from, really. Brought up in rugby. And, but yeah, school-wise for me, it was just not my cup of tea, really. I just didn't like it, really. It's quite known where a lot of people in the old school Chinese, they always push their kids to do the best, go into like a good job, like a lawyer, doctor, and all that malarkey. But I was never into that stuff. Like, I have no interest of the book side. It's just I lost interest.
What's your sort of like parents?
Well,
in terms of are they in that kind of world?
Well, no, my parents started a takeaway business up in Rugby,
Okay.
and they're trying to do the best for their kids, really. So, I got an older brother who went to uni and stuff like that, so he's doing well. And then there's me. I was like, nah, school's not for me. So I just go through, get school out of my way, and then because my mum really wanted to push me to go uni and stuff, so I was like, I'm not gonna go do this and that because I'm not gonna waste time, and I'm gonna have loads of money on my shoulder. What owed uni loads of money, so I just picked the college course way, just go through that and see if I can get I don't know, just keep myself busy for a bit until I get a job, really. But then
What college course did you do?
Carpentry course, really.
Okay, you did carpentry.
Literally carpentry. So I was really hands-on anyway. I'm always a hands-on person. I think it must have started when I was younger, being hands-on, because I love building Legos when I was a kid.
The origins of carpentry is Lego.
It's Legos, yeah. I should have been a bricklayer, just whacking bricks, but
Mate, do you know what? There's something like quite therapeutic, I think, about doing Lego.
yeah, I find that.
Particularly the big ones.
Oh, yeah. I can...
But were you, because there's two type of Lego makers as far as I'm concerned, were you an instructions guy or not?
Yes.
You did.
I was proper instruction. I literally find a part, I'll offer it on the picture, because I remember when I was young, I was like, offer it the picture, yeah, that's the right one, it works properly. Or you count how many lugs of them dots you got, oh, that's the right one, just whack it in. But I just liked doing that when I was a kid, but...
Do you know what, mate? I think parents in that day, that was a hack. You give a kid a Lego, it's like giving a dog a chew. Like, they're quiet then,
keeps
aren't they?
them busy. Like,
You know what I mean?
A lot of people think I'm like that young Joe, maybe like I was the computer kid, and not really. I'm in like, I was born in 1996, so I'm in that in-between generation, you could say.
Fucking hell, man, 96. You just made me feel old like that.
Oh, sorry. But no, it's just one of those where, I used to go hang out with my mates, play football or Kirby on, or, we'll doss around on the street and stuff like that. But yeah, that was my kind of gen, really. Wasn't that iPad kid now, how it is now these days, but you've got to go with the flow with the nowadays. But yeah, following that, got into the course of carpentry, got an apprenticeship during summer, like found a labourer's job, and then they took me on after this. For the second year, I started for my college, and then just did that, really, just stuck with it, really. And then left the apprenticeship, got a job.
How was the apprenticeship? How did that? How long was that?
It was meant to be 2 years, but ended up 3 years.
Yeah.
Because our assessor left halfway through the second year, so they had to extend it to find someone they find someone privately just so they can come out and assess how, how a college is and stuff like that. So,
What a headache for you guys, though.
I know.
Have an extra year because we've lost a member of staff.
Yeah, well, it's all right for us. We call college day Dossing Day because there's a pub around the corner, so we just go pub at lunchtime and go into the workshop, start using the machine. Not meant to, don't do that, guys. And, it's one of those things. But it was all right. I didn't mind. It's just, like I said, just dossing around. Because you kind of learned from the job anyway, so you just doing the stuff that just taught you already.
In my mind, yeah. I mean, I'm not knocking college and apprenticeships, but I know, like, in my business, I've had a few, and I've pretty much said, look, you're actually better off getting your experience on site, really.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that.
I had Alfie, who recently, he did his first year electrical at college. Absolute waste of time, mate.
Didn't like it?
Nah, it was... But the college system, it's one of the problems. Like, we struggle to get people into the trade now, but the colleges are struggling. Like, I think they're struggling to get good tutors. I know Alfie's point of view, and I've heard this. So another person I know whose son did an electrical course over Solihull Way.
Okay.
The tutor quit, and they replaced the electrical tutor with a bricklaying tutor. So it's like then they've got
sense.
a bricklayer teaching the electrics.
That's
so obviously the kids on the course are like, well, what do you know?
Yeah.
But with Alfie, his experience of the local college here was terrible.
Really?
It was like, yeah, he'd go into college, and don't get me wrong, mate, it wasn't massive, but he was 16 at the time, so wasn't driving. No. So he used to have to get up early, which all you teenagers hate. Get up early, but go and get a bus into the next town over, turn up at college. So it was a bit of an effort to get there. He had to make an effort, essentially. Then he'd walk into college, go to the classroom, sit there, say it's due to start at 9, 10 past 9, nobody, 15:45, nobody, 20 past 9, go down to reception. Tutor hasn't turned up, and they'd just be like, oh yeah, he's not coming today, just go home.
So you just wasted that student time, really.
This was like regular. It wasn't like a one-off.
Oh, so, it's just constantly.
Yeah, and he got to the stage, I can understand it, where he was like, I can't be asked to go. Because like, it's like they're not putting the effort in, so why am I going to put the effort in?
No, that's fair enough.
And then you look at, there's nobody coming into the trade, but like, what's the level of education coming into the trade? I've gone off on a right rant tonight.
Well, it's good though, because I'm not, I guess from a parent's point of view, you got to see your kids go into the education no matter what. You got to stick them through it. But now I hear people like college is not the best how it used to be, or the education system has gone downhill. I guess it is true, because like we don't have a lot of trades coming in. Well, people coming into the trade now. It's very low number, right? And if we got no tutors willing to teach the new generation of tradesmen, then we are lost course, really.
It starts at the bottom, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you've got to have good education to entice people in.
Yeah.
As well, you've got to be able to teach the kids right and make it interesting for them.
Yeah, make
so
it fun, because like I remember in college, Archie was sound, man. We're like, we doss around. Then they know you're going to be dossing around when you're in that teenage age anyway. And then like we used to make baseball bats, even if we're not meant to. We would just hide. We were just grabbing a rough length of 4x2, cut it down, and then we were meant to do like some next level joint. And then we just put it on the visor, just start chopping it just to make it a baseball bat. And then we got loads of masking tape to make a masking, like a baseball ball. And then the tutor caught us. He was like, what's this about? We're like, we want to play baseball at break time. He's like, well, go on then, we're going to play together. I was like, sound, literally, sound. You know what I mean? You don't mind. As long as you do the job, or you finish the job, then do what you want to do next after. But I find that, I see, like, I went to look into get an apprentice before. I was thinking about it. And
how long you been in business now, Lou?
Oh, I think it's 3 years now, actually. Yeah, okay. So really still fairly new. But
let's pause there a moment to thank this episode's sponsors, Q1. Q1 are a premium masking solution. They offer the ultimate choice for professionals that demand perfection. Whatever you're painting, Q1 tapes deliver clean, sharp lines every time. Q1 tapes are designed for superior adhesion and easy removal, leaving no residue behind. We use Q1 tapes in our business all the time, on every job. In addition to the painter's tapes, Q1 offer a range of surface protection technology, solutions and accessories. You can cover things like worktops, hard floor and kitchen units with a range of Q1 protections. Using Q1, your projects are going to look professional and the results will speak for themselves. Q1 is available at all of your favourite stores and online at q1tapes.com. Thank you to Q1 for supporting the Talking Tradesman podcast and helping us raise mental health awareness in the industry. Let's get back to the episode.
Business-wise, I'm quite happy what I've done, right, from transition from full-time to self-employment. I think that's the best choice I ever made, really, because I didn't really officially want to go self-employed yet, because when I've left, just was during COVID, like just after COVID, I was working for a company where they build modular homes, literally like site bashing, literally just no quality, get the quantity out, get it out there. And I want to go to New Zealand, but they just opened their border, and there was a bit predicament, like picking who can go into the country. So my visa didn't go through, but I had that big loan sum of money. So
New Zealand were one of them countries, mate, weren't they, at that time, where they locked down proper, didn't they?
Yeah,
They
did
shut down for a year or something.
A proper long time. And so I thought if I couldn't, I didn't make it through. So then I was like, what should I do? So I spoke to my mum, trying to go look for a job. And then she's like, well, you got a trade in your background. Why don't you just go out on your own? Just go out there, see how it works. Because people say it's never too late to start self-employment, but it's always best to do it while you're a little bit young, I guess you could say, because you can always fall back into someone who supports you or full-time job again anyway. So you got to give it a go, see how to play the war around it. So I went for that, and then never looked back, really. Never looked back, just went all right for me.
So after your apprenticeship, what was the next stage after that?
So after our apprenticeship, I want to get a house. So I went to work for a full-time company after I left it was a building firm I was working for, just a local building firm. Mm. I worked for IKEA doing carpentry. Not what I expected.
You did what, sorry?
I worked in
IKEA doing carpentry for IKEA?
Yeah, well, maybe you build some it was absolute poo.
What was it?
Just building podiums and stuff like that.
Okay.
For the showroom and stuff. And then I was like, you know what? And then I was getting complained from one of the managers. Apparently I was swearing, which I wasn't. You don't swear on the shop floor and stuff. Which is
Come on, Lou. How many blood clots were going out?
Well, I was saying blood clot, but I wasn't saying it loud. I was just saying it quietly. You know what I mean? But
Fucking blood clot, IKEA.
Yeah, but then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I said, I'll move department then. I said, I don't want to be on a showroom, I don't want to be sales. I don't do sales stuff. So they found me a department where you just build the furniture all day and night. I was like, okay. So they titled it as a showroom builder. So you just build the stuff for the showroom. Mm. I was like, okay. Just so I can, basically, I just work there just so I can get the 3-month statement, get a house.
Yeah.
You know how the crack is. I stayed there a bit too long, a bit cushy, because I was only, 21? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you buy a house at that age?
Yeah, me and my brother together, yeah.
Fair play, man.
Yeah.
Because that's young to buy a house now.
Yeah, they say that, but we got quite lucky. We had some relatives and stuff like that to give a hand and stuff. But, got that 3 months, got the house, stayed there too long because I was uni. Come on, it was in Coventry. So there was Cov Uni. I was partying with the uni girls. Come on, done them. You know, got too cushy there, innit? So then I was decided, I need more money, need to get into my trade again, back into my trade. And then worked for a preservation company, learned a bit of heritage work.
That sounds a bit more interesting.
Yeah, that was really interesting. So I did the odd damp proofing, which is not really, it's a bit boring for me, but I was doing basement waterproofing and work. I did a job in Studley Castle. Oh, yeah, I
know Studley Castle.
Yeah, so they had wood rot in the turret, but they were never willing to change the window because you had to get the heritage people. It's pretty much ongoing job, really. So then did that. And then when COVID kicked in, I was part of the ghost team, so you just work in void housing those, and then they start cutting down bonuses and stuff because we were getting a good deal working for them. You do 8 hours a day, but you get 10-hour pay, or if you finish a job half a day, you still get full pay.
Okay.
So that was a real bonus and company van and all that stuff. But then the cuts start cutting, so then I left that company during COVID. Worked for this modular building company down in Northampton. That was all right, but like I said, it's all about quantity than quality. So you just skirting, you just 45 it. They don't bother scribing. I was like, this is absolute dog poo. So I thought I'll stay there just until I get another job near me. But then I want to go to New Zealand, didn't work. that's when I went out self-employment. That's how I really went out, really.
With the New Zealand thing, were you planning on going to live there and not coming back?
I was planning there just to do working holiday and see if I really want to settle down and, you know, but it didn't go through, so I can't really say. But I really want to just do working holiday, really. But, you know, if I ever got a chance to just go there for a year, you know, just that'd be great.
Do you still go there now?
If I got a chance, I will do. Like, you know, obviously business is really good for me. I don't want to leave that part. But at the same time, if I don't do it now, when would I do it?
Mate, 100%.
That's what I mean.
It's, the thing is, one of the beauties, I mean, my granddad said to me years ago, he was like, Russ, get a trade behind you, you'll have a job for life. And I've kind of experimented with it. So twice I've stepped away from my business.
Oh, yeah.
Where I've just wrapped it up completely. I mean, obviously, I didn't exactly say to customers, I'm done. It was like, I'm going off to do this for a bit. Same as you. I went and did a different job, which I've spoken about on here many times. I worked as a bailiff.
Yeah.
I did that for, same as you, like too long.
Man doing can't pay, take it away thing, Come on.
Basically, mate. Basically. Trust me, can't pay, take it away. It's got nothing on the real life. So yeah, I did that for nearly 4 years.
Wow.
Meant to do it for a year.
Oh, you said I'd do it for a year and then got a bit cushy, have you?
Well,
I think everyone does that when you move on from a job and then you're like, I'll do this for a year.
Oh, trust me, mate. It wasn't cushy.
But it was not cushy for your...
But it was... the money was...
Was the money paid good then?
Yeah, the money was.
Of course.
You imagine doing a job where you're going to work and somebody wants to fight you every day.
Yeah, I bet that takes a toll on your mentality.
It does eventually. Yeah. I didn't... Initially, I was young, so I was 22 when I started doing the job. So I was 24. So I was young, full of, you know...
Yeah.
Like, it was a buzz. So it was one of those things... By the end of it, mate, I think I was just so fed up of the aggression. Like, I never got to a point where I was scared of it, but I just got so sick of it. I was like, do you know what? I'm tired today. I don't want some geezer trying to fight me at 9
You've got no time for this crap right now.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it like, though, when you first started? Were you nervous? You must be a little bit nervous.
Yeah, massively. Yeah. So, same as you, mate. I went into it. I'll tell you why. Had my own painting. This is my little thing.
Okay.
So I had my own decorating business that I took over at 17.
Okay.
Built it up steadily, as you do, like all legit, as you do, all through the books, all like, because I was like, I want a mortgage.
Yeah.
Got to 22, 23, house come up, went to get a mortgage, and what they offered me was peanuts.
Really?
So I think I needed, and this was, I mean, we're talking 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
I think I needed 130 grand for my first house, and they offered me, they were like, you can have a mortgage but no more than about 80 or 90.
What?
And I was like, at the time, I think Alfie had just
was
on the scene in one capacity or another, and I was like, well, I can get like a 1-bed flat for that, but I'm starting a family. So
yeah.
And the mad thing was I was earning good money, but because I was self-employed, they were just like, I think I went just at the wrong time, because you might be too... Do you remember when they did like 110% mortgages?
Nope.
So back in the day, mate, there was a time before the last property burst, and you could go to the bank, because property had gone up for so long, you could get a 110% mortgage, self-cert.
Wow.
So you could just walk in and go, yeah, I earn this. They wouldn't check it. So self-certified, and they would give you more than the value of the house. Jeez. Because what they said is, we know that if you buy the house at 100 grand, 5 years' time, it's going to be 120, blah, blah, blah. So they'd like essentially loan you in confidence of that, and then the market burst.
Oh.
So you had a load of people that were strung out on like, they might have bought a house for 200 grand. They've actually had a mortgage for 230, 240 to do up the house, renovate, go on holiday, get a new car, whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the market crashed. So I decided I wanted a house just after the crash.
Ah, okay.
So all of a sudden then they were like, we're not, we'll give you very little, and you're self-employed, you're high risky, this, that, the other. So I saw that job, which back, as I say, we're talking, if I was 24, 16, 17 years ago now, the on-target earnings were advertised at like 60 to 80 grand a year.
Jeez.
So I was like, I'll give that a go. And yeah, intended on doing it for a year max, and ended up doing it for nearly 4.
Wow.
So yeah, but getting back to your question, mate, was I nervous when I started? Yeah, defo, because I had no idea what to expect.
You have no idea what you're going into.
And it was, there was some wild stuff.
I bet you got some funny stories as well, though.
There's many stories, Lou. Many stories. I've said before, like, I don't regret doing it. I'd never do it again.
No.
And people have got a misconception around bailiffs because they think it's like load of bullies and single mums crying babies. That's not the case.
You're just doing your job at the end of the day, aren't you?
Well, it's not just that. The single mums that are out there, because I was court certificated, so everything we did was on a warrant.
Oh, okay.
So we were doing like business rates and things like that. So your single mums and those kind of houses and families were on benefits anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't pay the stuff that we were collecting.
No.
So yeah, you weren't really knocking those doors.
Oh, okay.
So it was more, what I would say is, trying to justify myself here, but it was working out the can't pays from the won't pays.
Okay.
If somebody can't pay, they can't pay. There's nothing you can do.
Then you just got.
If they won't pay because they're like, yeah, fuck you, I'm not paying. I mean, for example, here's an example. I'll wrap it up after this because this is about you, not me. But there was a geezer I used to deal with on a regular basis who owned about 20 pubs. Oh my God. And I literally had his personal number in my phone, and I'd ring him up and just be like, mate, I've got this pub, it's come up, it's one of yours. And he'd be like, yeah, no worries, Russ, meet me at so-and-so and I'll pay you cash. Just like that, bang. And I said to him the once, because this happened like 3-4 times,
Jesus.
and I was like, mate, because he was always sound, real sound guy. He used to have monster trucks and all sorts. Trying to think what area he was in, around Oxford way.
Okay.
But sound as a pound, never had a problem with money. And I said to him once, I said, mate, I've got to ask you, like, why are you letting it get to this? Like, why are we? You've clearly got the money. Why you got bailiffs knocking your door? He said, look, I own 20 pubs, and every whatever it is, April, January, whatever, I get business rates come in for all of them, right? So you're talking business rates on 20 pubs, they might be 30 grand a pub. Business rates for the year. Yeah. So you're looking at maybe 600 grand, 900 grand, £1 million, whatever.
Yeah.
And he said to me, he said, you tell me anywhere, because our fees used to be like 500-600 quid for knocking. Like, he said, you tell me anywhere where I can get, like, he'd be like, I'll pay half of them, not pay the other half. So it might be like a couple hundred grand.
Yeah.
He was like, you tell me any bank that will give me a 200 grand loan for 600 quid. And I was like, fucking hell, mate.
That makes sense. Yeah,
savvy. And it was just a cash flow thing for him. He was like, that means that he can pay them, 6 months later pay the others, but he'd get like a 6-month loan essentially by letting it go through the court process.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
he's smart. I'll tell you that.
it wasn't all what people think the job was, but you know, on the other hand, I did have the ones that tried to kill me and things.
Jesus. So, but no, fair enough. But
so you went off to IKEA to get your house.
Yeah.
We'll go back to you.
yeah. Got the house and all that stuff, like I said previously. And then, went self-employed after going through that journey. And pretty much, this is pretty much me now, really. Just out and about, travel everywhere. I like traveling a lot of places.
We were talking about this pre-record, mate, because Lewis was saying, I've gone over to pick up a deposit for a job in Dudley.
Yeah.
And then next week you're in London and Essex.
Yeah, to look at a job down there. Like, it's the power of social media, I think, because like they see your work online, and then they're like, "Oh, can you come down?" It's like, "Yeah, I can come down, but this and that." If they agree with it, great. If they don't, I'm not really bothered because it's not wasting my time, and you're not wasting their time and stuff like that. So, as long as they're happy for me to come down, but like it's just work for me.
If someone asks you then, because like you said, next week you're going to Essex, do you charge for that quote or not?
Oh yeah, definitely. I ain't wasting time for free. Like, my time is and I'm doing it on a Sunday, so of course I'm like, this is my rate for that Sunday to come down. Obviously you get it back, like it'd be minus off the total cost of the job.
Yeah.
So I need to know if you're serious. If you're not serious, then you can really fuck off, really. But if you are serious, then that's sound, because I don't want people wasting my time, because like, especially like quoting takes a lot of time of your own evening.
Yeah.
Like, take your family, like time away from family, or your things you could be doing instead of quoting, it's one of those things. So
will you stay away, like if you're working that far away from home, like, do you stay away? Do you not stay away?
Just depends where about. To be fair, from London and Essex to where I'm from, Rugby, it's not far, because I'm all right with that, to be fair. If it's like,
really?
Yeah, like
you'll commute that on a daily basis.
Yeah, I don't mind,
mate. You got that big ass van now. You should stick a bed in that.
I know. Everyone says that. They're like, "Oh, you go sleeping." I was like, "Not really. With my tools I got, it's just too many tools. I can't, But I can actually sleep across the seats. That's how small I am." So,
do you know what I saw the other day? Actually, you can get like an inflatable thing
that's it,
that levels it out.
Yeah,
can't you? Why not?
I was thinking, that might be a good idea, but then the people might think, What a tramp, sleeping in the van or something.
No, man, get some curtains across it. Nobody on that.
Yeah, that's true. It's like that. Oh, you had a guest previously.
Gemma.
Gemma.
Yeah, I was just thinking of her. Yeah.
She's near me actually.
Leamington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in the neck of the woods. I was like,
Mate,
right.
her van was here. She came in it.
She just pulled in.
It's mint.
Yeah.
Well, she came on a weekday evening, and the parking restriction out there is about 5:30.
Okay.
Then you can park right outside the shop.
Oh, okay.
She came on a weekday, and I had a quick look. Mate, it's mint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's beautiful, but no room for tools. So with what she does, because she does like art,
Yeah.
she don't need the same volume of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't getting chop saws and things in
Yeah,
there.
I'll be like, fuck's sake, why is this chop so in my back? So when I try and sleep and that, so no, I don't mind coming. I've got family members. I can, if they let me stay over, that's fine. I stay over a night or two, that's fine. But
How long's it going to take you to get to Essex then?
40 or 45 roughly. It's not too far.
Still, mate, there and back though.
Oh.
That's 3.5 hour
Yeah,
drive, isn't it?
but then, like, I did a job in Maidenhead. That's down near
I
Reading.
don't even know where that is.
So you go down south. Is it more southwest? More like near Reading
Okay.
side. And
See, I'd have thought Reading was closer to you than Essex.
no,
No.
unless you're thinking no. There's only one Reading. It's there down south.
Yeah.
So, but it's technically part of. It's not part of London, but it's like the west side of London, outskirt of it. I was doing a job down there in Maidenhead, and that was an hour and 40 on the M40 day in day out. But I tend to do longer hours when I'm working away, so I can then start the next part the next following day. I like travel to work because, like I say, I've got no commitment with someone with me or kids.
Let's pause a moment to thank our headline sponsors, Zinza, and let's talk about their product, Zinza Bin. Zinza Bin is a shellac-based formula and it sticks to any surface without the need for sanding. It dries in 15 minutes and can be recoated in 45. Zinza Bin blocks stains, knots, sap streaks and odours, including water stains, oil stains, mould, nicotine, pen and more. It really is a fantastic product. Let's get back to the episode.
Like, I know some people won't do it anymore because, like, they got kids, they got family, and why not? I understand, but where for me, I got my family members. They don't mind me working away because I need to earn my money at the end of the day. Self-employment, I need to earn this to pay off this and that, pay off that. So it's one of those things. So
see, it gets on to topic really though, mate. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know, like, I think I've said to you in the past about like taking breaks and holidays and that,
Yeah.
and I know other people have, because like, I've seen you're fucking relentless, mate. Like 7-day week and getting onto those long days.
yeah,
It is commendable. I understand what you're saying because, and it is, and while you're younger, I think you can do more, and you haven't got the commitments, and that's all good. But you can burn out, mate.
oh yeah, definitely. I've definitely learned that from the hard way. Which in last year October, I just literally burnt out. Like that's it, I'm done, and asked for people for some help. What could I do and this and that. Spoke to some family members about it because I was like, my brain was just gone. I was just like, I was crying and feeling happy and then crying and it just go emotions up and down, up and down.
I remember, mate, you put out a couple of videos on social media, which,
Yeah.
first of all, man, massive credit for doing because it takes some balls.
Yeah.
But you put out some very open, very raw videos on social media
I'm
about
not-
how you're
to
feeling.
To be honest, I'm not that kind of person usually. Normally, I don't really open. When I was younger, I was never that open to everyone. But then I think, like, because I've seen like people are a bit more open and a bit supportive with each other, especially the community, what we got now. And I thought, you know what, it's because I had a group chat where we were just talking to each other and they helped me out. And I thought, this is it's always, it's okay to open up. That's how I see it. It's okay to open up. Now I've felt better after talking about it. And it just really, I was surprised a lot of people were just like, my notification was just bombarded, which is like, it's nice, but I was just like overwhelmed. That's the word, overwhelmed when it came out. But, I got some people private message me about it and, see me, how I'm getting on. And then after a few weeks later, people still message me saying how I'm still getting all right and, it was just, I don't know. I just felt it's just right. It was the right moment to just do it. I wasn't like, not for for clickbait or for, I just, I'm just for this is me now. Like, I'm not really, like, I don't really open that much. I'm open of being blunt and stuff, but I'm not open about emotional feelings and deep thoughts and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I think did that will really help me out a bit. It sounds a bit weird to some people, but for me, for my personal take, I think it's all right.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think it's not only that, mate. It's people like you doing that let other people know it's that thing, isn't it? It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us struggling, mate. I mean, myself included. I still hit burnout now and again. And I think, if we sort of take it to the beginning of what was it that started you off, I guess, getting to that point. So let's pull it before that.
Yeah.
Like, what was the beginning of it?
Well, I think it was just literally working constantly because I'm always worried about money. Like, I was like, right, when I went self-employed, I was like, right, if I'm going to go self-employed, I need to work constantly. Like, this was just my thought. Like, I need to work to get the cash flow constantly.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to hit that point where I dip into my savings or, if I don't go well my business, I'll be like struggling this and that. I don't want that point. So I think I was just working constantly, mentality. And I don't know, it's just for me, I think, like I say, I just overworked myself constantly and my body just start flying.
Where does the money concern come from? Is that because of things that you're committed to?
It's just I'm committed to it, really. I just don't really like to feel like, I don't want to be homeless, because obviously for me, a mortgage is like a debt for not forever, because you got to make sure you're always constantly paying. So I don't want to be that person where I lose the house just because I was self-employment. Because I had my mum living with me, So it's like it's all that, just work.
Oh, so your mum lives with you?
Yeah, she lives with me now. It's just.
So you feel the pressure of making sure that your mum's got the stable.
Yeah,
that's very noble, mate.
Well, yeah, she's all right. She's retired now. Lucky for her, retired at quite a young age. So, but it's just about commitment. That's the word. I gotta make sure I keep that on top.
See, I'll go highlight something there. You said earlier that you haven't got the commitments other people have got with like kids and family and that.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you have. Because obviously your mum isn't your kid, but if you've got your mum living with you and you're responsible for that household, that's a commitment, mate.
I guess so. I don't see it that way, actually. For me, it's just like, I don't know.
It's a responsibility.
Okay, maybe responsibility. It's like I said, it's just, I don't know. I just go with
Well, you're responsible for the property your mum lives in, mate. There's no ways around it. It's a responsibility, and a responsibility will carry a pressure and a weight to it.
Yeah.
Because even if you're not focused on, I've got to do that, it's in the back of your head. Like me personally, I've got the same, but I've got a wife and kids at home.
Yeah.
I've got that in the back of my head. Like I can't be without work because I've got to provide for them.
it.
You're providing just differently. You're providing a house for your mum, so it's still there, mate. The pressure's still there.
Yeah, now you put it that way, I just didn't thought that way. It's just my mindset is like, well, I'm going to work, get paid, and trying to do my job, like
Mate, your work ethic is huge.
Yeah.
I've seen that from day one, but it's that balance, isn't it? That fucking word, balance.
Work-life balance. Like, I didn't have a work-life balance. My work life is work. What, day off one day for someone's birthday? Nah. Work.
So you do 7 days a week, most weeks?
Pretty much, yeah. But now I've hit that point where I started slowly to slow down now. Like, if I need to do 7 days that week, then I do it. If I don't, just chill.
So back in that period then, when you sort of crashed in October, what was the first sign for you that things weren't quite right?
I think it was just like every time I finish work and I drive home, my eyes start balling up. I don't know why. Like, I had some thoughts. Like, I was like, what's going on with my head? And I couldn't think straight.
What sort of thoughts?
Well, I was kind of thinking like, is it even worth staying alive and stuff, like just silly thoughts now, but like
it's not silly.
Suicidal thoughts really. And then should I just run my van into the side of the hard shoulder and then that's it, really, end it really. That was the thoughts really. A lot of dark thoughts about it, but then I thought, you know what, let me speak to someone. So I spoke to Danny.
Shout out Danny.
Shout out to Danny, man, and Kev, and Alex and all that stuff. Everyone in the group chat we were. and they helped me out a bit. But you know, like spoke to me and see how I get on, and they checked up on me, and then I was like, that's when I just cried out constantly, just like.
It's a scary thing, though,
It's a
mate,
scary
isn't it?
thought, yeah. Then I spoke to my mum, because like, my mum's always supportive, but she's a bit like, I don't know how to say it. She doesn't show a lot of emotion. I don't know, because me and my dad and my mum, we're quite close, but I'm more closer to my mum's side due to parents splitting up and stuff. And so if I speak to my dad about it, he won't know fuck all about it. He's
That generation.
that quite generation where my mum is like in between that generation and where she's still open, but she doesn't show how, like, she can only advise you. She's like an advisor. That's what I can say. But like, at the end of the day, she still helped me out a bit. She told me maybe you just take a break from work or book a holiday. So what I did then was just book a holiday for January. This year, January, I went on holiday for the first time. That was when I was still in like 2.5 years of my business. That's my first holiday in self-employment.
Yeah.
So
I think this is one of the things, though, Lewis, isn't it? Like, people outside of being self-employed and outside of construction, I don't think they can fully compute how many hours we put in sometimes.
you put more than a regular, 40 hours a week? Or...
But listen, I mean, even if, say you do a long working day, say you're on site for, let's just go normal, say you're on site for 8 hours, but then you might have driven an extra 3.5 hours on top of that. Then you've got to go home, do your quotes, your estimates and everything. And I guess when your life is all work, sleep, sleep, you do get that, like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And then if that's all that is, then them thoughts creep in of like, if this is everything, do I really want this?
Yeah, that's it. So I thought it was getting too much for me. So,
But you know what though, mate? Massive credit for recognising it and speaking to people.
Yeah.
Because do you know what? So many people don't.
No, that's...
So many people, they just follow the thoughts.
Yeah.
And there's all this like psychology speak with things like, you know, you are not your thoughts. It's a crazy concept really, because your body, like, and your mind's primary like function is stay alive.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yet your mind can really
Play that thought of...
turn against you.
Yeah, that's it. It's just like... So I was like, no, this is not for me. I'm not going to be doing that kind of silly thing, really. So that's, you know, get the support and help. It kind of helped me out a bit, really. And
Did you, other than speaking to your friends, and like, obviously I know your friend circle as well, mate, and there's some incredible people there. Like, the massive shout out to all those guys. I know who they are. Loads of time I was lucky enough to be introduced to you lot, I guess, through Kev.
That's it, yeah.
And then obviously I've had Danny, I've had Alex sitting here, and we were just saying pre-record, actually, guys, any of you lot listening, we need to do an episode with everyone.
That'd be sound.
I've had Lewis, Kev, Danny, Alex, all you guys.
Come
and sit down, and we'll have like an episode of everyone.
Yeah.
Which I think would be wicked. But yeah, they're a good group, good people.
Definitely. And not saying it because they are older than me. They are, like, reality. But they have more experience, like, how to deal with things and stuff like that, would you say? But I don't know. Because, like, I speak a lot to Danny a bit. And he's always advised me to do this and that. Like, I just take a suggestion, like, from his advice, and if it works, if not, you know, I'll speak to him again. It's like, I just see him like a good person to speak to, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
No, yes.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
as well, I speak to Alex time to time as well. He always advised me, you might need to do this, do that. So yeah, I'm glad I got, like, to be fair, I'm so glad I did the social media account, because, like, if I didn't do it, I don't know where I'd be, to be fair. I really don't know where I'd be. Like, if I was, like, self-employed, just didn't bother with social media, Jesus, I don't know where I'll go. Where could I get help? Or
that community, mate, is so important, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely, important, like...
And I know you, probably similar to myself, you work a lot, well, you work on your own all the time,
constantly,
don't you?
Yeah. Just because, like I said, I don't see if I can take someone on. If I can, great, but sometimes it's like, it's another level you need to focus on now, try and get jobs for a 2-man person.
The pressure of that.
That's another pressure. I was like, you know what, I'm going to stick with being myself a bit. If I think I'm ready, I can, you know, then I'll take another challenge. Because it's another level, another challenge for you to put yourself onto. So, but for now, I'm just going to keep it for myself.
It is, mate. It's tough. An apprentice isn't so bad, because obviously you don't have to pay them much.
No.
Like, and training them up. But, and I can speak from, like, experience, then you've got like the other side of it. Like you couldn't force an apprentice to do the kind of hours you do.
No, that's
so then
what I
you're
mean.
like limited. And I get this, and like I mean, I've got my son working for, but I still have that thought in my head. The little worm comes in. I'm like, oh, I can't really ask him. I might stay till 6, but he's, you know what I
wants to
mean?
go home
Even though
early,
he's my son, and in the end, I'm like, nah, sod him.
No,
But
no. The problem is, when I was an apprentice, I was working with my boss, whatever hours to the end, really. So like, we could be starting at 7:30 in the morning, finish at 7:30 in the evening.
yeah, funny though, mate. Why do we think it's okay to
I
do
think
that?
it's just how they all got, like, how when you follow your, I don't know, gaffer.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't drive then, so I got no choice. I had to get a lift with him anyway. So, like, you know, he always take me on to look at jobs, like on the quotes as well after the evening. So I just get used to it. So I think I got used to that work mentality of, yeah, do long hours, you get the job done quicker. Like, not really. Now I think about it now, it's like how much you're gonna be. You work out how much you earn a day, but then your hourly rate is like, that's not really worth doing that way. So
Yeah.
So then I start slowly going back now. Like I do 8 to 4, you know, or 8 to 5 during summer hours, longer daylight.
I mean, other than speaking to the lads that you spoke to, though, Lewis, did you go anywhere else? Did you get any therapy or counselling? or anything?
No, I didn't get any of that really.
No.
I didn't really feel comfortable talking to someone I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Bit weird. It feels weird for me. But I'd rather talk to someone who I know because I feel more comfortable with. It's like,
Yeah.
now going on this podcast feel more comfortable for me because I know you.
Yeah.
You know. But if I went on a podcast and we talk about this and I don't really know you well, then I feel a bit. You won't hear from me a lot, you can say, but
Everyone's different, mate,
Yeah.
isn't they? I mean, I think me personally, I've found speaking to strangers sometimes is easier.
Oh, really?
Because, yeah, it's particularly anonymous. Because you're like, well, I can tell you anything. And when I walk away from this, that's it. Like,
yeah.
think what you want of me, you don't know me kind of thing.
Okay.
But obviously I used to volunteer at Samaritans as well, so I used to experience that in reverse,
Yeah.
where I was a person anonymously being spoken to, and I could see the power of people offloading, sometimes with men as well, because, like, I mean, massive credit to you for speaking out to your friends, but some men would be like, I don't want to speak to my friends because what if they judge me?
Yeah.
You know?
But that's the old stigma how men meant to be, where yeah, I understand, but that now time has changed a lot now. You gotta go with the flow. As it's always good to open up. Like,
Mate, I agree with you 1,000,000%.
I'm just thinking, like,
Except I think times are changing. I don't think they've changed.
not fully yet, would you say? But
Well, look at the stats, mate.
yeah,
You know, that it proves that we're still really fucking struggling.
yeah,
And although there's a lot of people now that thankfully do feel that they can come and sit and talk about their emotions, there's still a lot of people that don't.
yeah. There's still people who just kept it quiet, don't they, and stuff. But I don't know. But I'm like, for me, it's just if I'm gonna open up, I'm quite a straightforward person anyway. So if I need to say it out, I need to say it out now. So
when you went and got that, like, support from those lads, they then highlighted to you, like,
yeah,
maybe you're working a bit too much.
yeah. That's it, really. It's just work too much. That's all it is.
Because you hit the gym as well, didn't you? Still training?
Yeah, I went this morning,
man.
5 o'clock in the morning. My routine is 5 in the morning, and then come back home, have breakfast, and go to work.
How's that been for your mental
I
health?
love it, man. I love it.
Have you
Like,
found that makes you feel better mentally as well?
Yeah. So sometimes if I'm working away, then I won't go to gym in the morning because I need to leave early, and then I just come home, like come back to work, and then go to gym after dinner, and then power through that way. It's a stress relief for me as well, and I like that. And it's easy for me to knock out in bed after, so I just sleep after. So
What are you knocking out in bed, Lou?
not like that,
bro.
bro. Not knock out, you know.
You know, man, this conversation just took a
Nah,
turn.
you're just got dirty. Mate. Knock out mean like you're going to sleep, innit? You're conked out, you know what I mean?
Unless Kev's calling you before bedtime.
Yeah. Don't call me again, Kev. Like, I'll call. Oh, no,
I was creasing.
I can't believe that when he was like, oh, I bet you. I was like, when he messaged, I was like, after, I was like, oh, I bet you. No, what did I say? Oh, you should have recorded it. Like, oh, he's like, oh, I should have. When I saw I got mentioned, blood fire, man. Like, I seen the comments. I was like, oh my day. The TikTok ones, like the comments, even funnier.
Yeah, mate, it was just so. As you saying, we're a new generation now, Lou. It's fine. You should have been like, yeah, I love you, bro. Like Danny. The contrast between you two.
Like, if you know Kev, like, personally, oh my days, bro. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna get into it. But like, Like, who calls someone good night? I really don't understand that. You don't see me calling. Let's say I don't know. I'll call you good night. Would you?
Maybe this should be a thing now. Look,
Or maybe
I'm waiting
hey,
for that call now.
Kev, you started a trend now. But no, it was funny though. When I thought of it, I couldn't stop laughing about it. I was like, wow, I'm a prick. That's all I could see. And then I see Danny Mander's like, oh, he's such a kind guy, isn't he? And then I see the comments that, what was one of the comments like? Oh, someone was like, oh, this is the new generation, the first one. And the second one was like the old gen. I was like, yikes, that's a bit awkward, isn't it? And then someone, what did they say about someone that, oh, that second one needs a date? I was like, what? What the fuck was that about? But everyone just laughed. It was like, you pensioner. And yeah, it's funny. Like I said, I don't mind.
It was a funny moment.
It's just me. I was just like, like I said, I'd say whatever's in my head. I was like, you pensioner, and then I didn't know, man.
Why are you ringing me saying good night, bro?
Yeah, I'm like, bruh, what are you saying that for? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I won't call you again. I was like, you can't just text me then. I'll read the next day or something. But who calls during the night, man? Like, what was I doing? I think
What time was it that you rung her?
I think around 9:30 or 10 o'clock. That's why I called him a pensioner. It's like a bit early for you to go to bed, isn't
I
it?
mean, I was just gonna say that's late. I'd have been out by then.
Oh, nah, man. I'll be bed at 11 or... What was I was doing quotes. That's it. I was doing quotes in that evening. I had like, oh, let me just squeeze that last quote in. And then he just called me. I was like, I thought it was emergency, you know, hello, and then, oh, I just want to say, nah, that's just pissed me off. Not pissed me off, I was just like,
No,
you're winding me up, bruv.
For anyone that don't know what we're talking about right now, go on to, I think it's on Kev's, it's a Paint Warrior and Wife.
Paint Warrior and Wife.
Go on to Kev's Paint Warrior and Wife Instagram account. You'll see the phone call that he recorded ringing Lewis to say goodnight, and you'll see Lewis's reaction to that.
Oh, dear.
It's comedy gold.
Apparently now, but I did not expect they recorded it. That's the thing. And I was like, you know, it's done now. Like, I did a job for Kev Thursday, and I come in, and then like the client's like, "Oh, I've seen your video. You're the one who called Kev." I was like, "Oh no, I'm getting no. Everything I'm a prick or something." I was like, "Oh dear." I was like, you know what? I'll go with the flow.
You be careful, mate. You're gonna get like 20 goodnight phone calls off the back
If
of
I
it all.
do, Jesus, like I know, be like, who's calling on what Instagram? Like, you know, phone calls on Instagram. I'm like, hello, good night. I like, fuck this, bro. Yo, block that thing, block that.
The more you say this, Lou, the more it will happen. You know that.
You guys, don't you dare call me, yeah? I will find out where you live and stuff.
Lewis
I'll be
wants
like,
the good night
the guy
cuddles.
from Taken. I will find you. So, but no, it's all good.
Yeah,
So,
it was a funny one, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, where were we? I was saying about those lads
Yeah.
letting you, like, highlighting to you that you were working too much. How was it, like, when they said that to you? Was it like, was it something you already knew, or was it a bit of a, like,
kind of took
light
me a
bulb?
while to actually clock on saying I am working too much. Kind of took me a while because I was just like, yeah, get the money in, do this, do that. Because to be fair, when I get back from home, like from work, sorry, I don't really have a social life really. Because this is way before this, the episode happened, and oh yeah, I was just working constantly. I got nothing to do at home, so I might as well just do some quotes. Or
I'm going to pause there to thank this episode's sponsors, Abode Academy. Abode offer practical-based spray courses in Wiltshire and Manchester. They teach airless spraying, kitchen and furniture spraying, UPVC spraying, special effects including metal and workshop refurbishment courses. I myself have been on their airless course and I really enjoyed it. They teach in small groups, so it's a laid-back environment and very hands-on, loads of time on the sprayers. Their courses are approved by the Construction Industry Training Board, otherwise known as CITB, so you know you're getting good quality training. They offer full aftercare support and have their own range of spray equipment, which is top quality at affordable prices, and the aftercare they give is nothing short of amazing. If you're thinking of getting into spraying, you can check out their website at www.abodeacademy.co.uk, or you can search them up at Abode Academy on Instagram, as they post loads of helpful spraying content with tips and tricks. Thanks to the team at Abode Academy for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. Let's get back to the episode.
go to the unit, make some stuff like ready for the next following job. So I'll be going to work, and then come back, maybe go to my unit, work till like 8 or 9 in the evening, then go home, do some quotes, and then eat my dinner and go to sleep and have a shower and all that stuff. Really, that was my routine really.
Because you felt like you didn't have anything to do other than work.
Yeah, that's my mindset. I have no like, let's go out. Like, I haven't got much friend outside from the social media. Like, most of them are like you lose touch in them, or
Yeah.
like I got one mate, but like I don't want to. I feel like I'm a burden. Like, if they want to come out because he's got a kid and stuff. I don't want to feel like that person. Just like pull them away from their family time. So I think that's why I was just like, I'm just gonna work to whenever really. So, but now, when I found out, like when they told me I found out like I'm working too much, and yeah I was, then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it easy. Coming to this Christmas, like I booked a holiday, I was excited. So I was like, I'm gonna start taking it easy.
So that was Sri Lanka, Thailand?
No, Singapore,
Thailand,
and Thailand, which is really nice. It was a nice solo holiday. Just book it and go.
How long did you go for?
10 days in total. So I was 4 days in Singapore. Blood clot, that was pricey, bruv. That Singapore, man. When I tell you it's pricey, like I checked my Monzo account, it was like 4 cocktails, like 120. I was like, wow, it's like £30 a cocktail. I was like, Ras clot, very expensive over there.
Beef for prices, mate.
Yeah,
you got that coming up
mate,
now.
don't even say that, man. I'm going to sneak some drinks in from Bossman Corner Shop in Ibiza if there is there one, and I'll be like, yo, I'm whacking my hotel. But
mate, I had, was it, I'm trying to think how long ago this was. Oh, it was probably 9 years ago now. Me and Ange went to Ibiza, mate, I nearly had that. We went in Ushuaia. I remember this because we had a row afterwards.
Oh, dear.
Right, we went into Ushuaia, went up to the bar, and I remember going to the geezer. I was like, can I have 2 double rum and cokes? And he looked at me and he went, are you sure? I was like, weird thing to say.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, mate. Right, went off, mate. I'm come back. And, mate, I'm not even talking about good rum. I'm talking about, like,
Dead
Captain
rum.
Morgan's,
Oh,
right?
dead.
No offence to any Captain Morgan's drinkers. But comes back, that'll be €80.
80 euros! Bomber clot!
So I say that again.
Bomber
We
clot!
paid like 100 and something euros a ticket to get in.
Jesus Christ.
And, yeah, so I was like, that is a night ruined. I'm done with this now. Ange then got the hump with me for moaning about the money. So there's a story actually in that. I hope she don't mind me telling it. But
Oh, God.
So she's got the hump over me moaning about, because I was like, that's it, I ain't drinking now. I ain't paying these prices. It's a rip-off. They're having a blah, blah, blah. It's her favourite club in the world. So she thinks I've put this downer on the night. So she goes to me, I'm going to the toilet. Goes off to the toilet, which are like down this corridor thing. So I'm stood at the end of this corridor. We'd been pre-drinking, so I had a few drinks.
Oh, okay.
So I'm stood at the end of this corridor thinking, she's been a while. So it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm like, nah, this ain't right. So I've rung her. I'm like, you all right? She's like, I'm in a taxi. I'm going back to the hotel. And she'd just done one.
She just left you?
Yeah, there was like a fire exit. She'd gone. Best bit though, Lewis, she'd got a bag with her. I'd got shorts with real shallow pockets.
Yeah.
So she'd got my wallet, my keys, my everything. So I'm like,
Oh, dear.
so you've left me in here with no money, nothing. So we'd paid like a couple €100
For the ticket.
to get in, €80 for the first drink, and I reckon we were in there 20 minutes.
Jeez, that was a quick trip there, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. We went back years later, but yeah, it's dough.
Yeah.
Anyway, Singapore.
Singapore, yeah, that was dope. Well, it's not like dough, but like still pricey because they're always quite pricey. Everyone knows that Singapore is quite a pricey country anyway.
Is that the one with the epic airport?
With the butterfly. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, but yeah, when I went there, it was lovely, man. Just nice little solo holiday.
So you went on completely on your own?
Yeah, just on my own. Just everyone's like, "Want me to?" Nope, I just want solo holiday. Just
Love that,
solo
man.
holiday. You know, you get to do what you want whenever you want. You know.
Mate, that's a bit of me, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and then I went to Thailand, in Phuket. That was nice. Very cheap country. Like it's like you live like a king over there. You can say, but like you know the hospitality is nice. The natives in there was like nice. Like very kind, cultured. You know, I went to see the elephants. That was really nice experience to do. Like if you ever got a chance, just do it.
Thailand's on my list, mate. I
Yeah.
need to get there.
Yeah, it's well worth it. Like, then I went to a beach club. I was like, yeah, I bought a bed for 4 people for myself, for one person. That's me.
Balling.
It was cheap though. It was really cheap. Like, I remember I picked a package. I think I paid like £100 for the whole full bed, like all day.
Was that including drinks?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Like
man.
it was a like you get packaged. Like you can have a prosecco package, or mix, or this and that. I was like, I'll pick this. I think it's a mixer with Smirnoff. So I think that's the only vodka they got. They brought out this bottle, the big bottle one, and mixers. I was like, okay, that will do for me. I drink half of it. I will if I have to make it worth. Around what 1 o'clock? No, 2 o'clock. They brought more Smirnoff. I was like, what's the mini one? Is that part? I was like, yeah. I was like, fuck that. Man. It is Smirnoff Ice. I was like, mate, I got that to drink and that drink. I was like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm just gonna drink 2 bottles Smirnoff Ice, and I just constantly drink the vodka with the mixers they gave me.
Could have recruited a few ladies from around the pool.
Bloody
Got room for a few more on here.
Jesus Christ, I was buzzing. I was like, oh my god, not gonna. And then I was like, oh, I gotta get home now because their taxi. You either take a taxi or on the moped, it's their taxi as well.
Yeah.
Oh my lord, I've nearly vomit on the bike ride. So I was like, oh shit, I feel like I'll vomit, man. But luckily I didn't, and I got home and just passed out. It was nice. It was a nice time, and then yeah. So like I said, I just enjoyed myself for a little solo break, and then came back just cracking on with work really.
Now you've done that, then, mate. How do you feel about doing that again? Like, is that an important? I mean, I'm kind of putting words in your mouth, but is that like something that you would now factor in?
I think I want to a bit more, like especially in January time, because I'm thinking if I can, depends on financial wise. Next year January, probably either a month away, either in Vietnam or I'll go Australia, explore Australia as well. Got a couple of mates over there anyway, so I can say hi to them as well. So I haven't fully thought about it yet, which country I want to go for, because obviously Australia is pricey, where Vietnam, I know it's cheap and cheerful, but it's very nice. So I don't know yet, but if I have to pick one, I think I might go for Vietnam anyway, because it's just really nice. I really want to do Vietnam. I've never been there. Just love the culture over there, so, and I love the food over there, so it looks banging.
Epic, mate. A month. Do you know what? I'll say all this about you, like important taking breaks. I'm a nightmare myself. I've said it so long. I reckon for about the last 3-4 years now, I've gone, I'm going to take the whole of August off. I've never done it. I've never done it. I'm getting a step closer. I've booked 1 week, one week off in August this year, which is probably the first time I've done that in God knows how long. We do have holidays.
Yeah, you do have holidays.
But yeah, I'll keep thinking. The thing is with holidays, brilliant as they are, when they're too short, I found like the last time I went away for a week, it took me 2-3 days to relax.
Really?
Yeah, because I felt, I said this the other day, I got a little bit mentally burnt out myself. Found like my brain, it was almost, I was talking to Joe, Screed Pappy Joe.
Oh yeah.
And I said to him, I feel like I'm in 6th gear on high revs.
You're on that mode,
and I can't stop it. Like even when I'm relaxed or
like you're just sitting on the bed, you're just still thinking like...
Yeah, my brain is just like...
Yeah, I was like that when I first got into the airport, because my brother dropped me off quite early in the morning. And then I went to the Singapore lounge, and I sat there, I was like, why the fuck am I having a cocktail at like 10 o'clock in the morning? It feels weird. I was like, but then I'm thinking, like, I pushed my mind, I was like, I'm not at work, I'm here to relax. I'm just here to relax. I just keep putting that in my mind, saying just relax, just enjoy yourself. So I was like that for a few days as well, but then I just settled in. I was like, yeah, I love it, mate. I just loved it. Just enjoy the moment of exploring places and stuff like that. So
10-11 days, mate, I think is perfect.
Yeah, but I thought if I can do a month, I'd go for a month. I would.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
If I know, like, a lot of people know that January could be the quietest month for people in the trade. So, you know, if I'm going to take a quiet month, I'll take a January off. I'm just going to chill.
Do you know? So for my business, it hasn't been for a long time.
No?
It used to be. So years gone by, because my granddad set the business up. So like my granddad was a decorator, my dad was a decorator, I'm a decorator. But they always used to do, like, they'd go on holiday early. My granddad used to go away places because of that. Always quiet, January, February. But me personally, my business, I haven't noticed that for a good few years now.
Oh, okay.
I tend to, it's almost like I get booked up in like 3 hits. So I get booked up. So now it'll be like up to the end of summer.
Yeah.
Then there'll be another push up to Christmas.
That's it.
Then as
yeah.
you approach Christmas, you then get people that know that they're not going to get in before Christmas. Then they book up spring. So it's like bump, bump, bump.
Okay.
So yeah, I haven't noticed the sort of like January drop off in a while now. But
Yeah.
I keep saying about going away in January. I'd love to go away for the whole of Christmas, mate. 'Cause I'm not a big fan of the whole.
No, not a big fan of the Christmas thing.
No, the last few years, mate, every year I'm getting more and more bitter about it. So,
So is the Grinch somewhere.
yeah.
Like I said, everyone's got their own taste of holidays and stuff. But like I said, if I can do it, I'm just gonna go for it. Don't care.
Why can't you do it, mate?
You know what I mean?
What's stopping you?
Well, just money wise, that's the only thing. Money is the thing. I have to make sure. I don't want to dip into myself. I don't really like to dip in my savings.
So what are your savings for then, if not for dipping
Well,
into?
I'm saving just for like rainy days, really. But then I have savings.
Well, go somewhere in rainy season and then use your savings.
No, that's good. Oh yeah. No, I've got money saved ready for holiday.
Okay.
It's just in case something happened, like it's emergency. You have to make sure. Yeah, I can go for it, but if there was an emergency, I need to sort that emergency out first. So
Yeah,
I'm always thinking like a backup. So if there was no emergency and there's nothing, all right, see you later, guys. I'm going. And they'll be like, oh, cool. So it's just one of those.
It's good though, man, that you're even in that mindset now of thinking about doing that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So from that point where you hit that low, you've now implemented going to the gym and looking at booking holidays.
Yeah,
so.
I'm starting to open more to like be more. I'm gonna take a break from this job. I might say, I'll take this week off. I'll take that week if I really want to. I'll take it off. Then I just do it. I won't say no, yes or no.
Because I do see the other thing, like you get around the, you go to a lot of these events and trade shows and stuff, but I guess that's keep in touch with the community, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. As well, not always on the phone. It's always, like I said, face to face is always good to talk to as well. So, and also try and social networking about companies and stuff. Because everyone knows now, if you're going to start doing social media, put your work on social media, you're going to get some people offering you brand deals or sponsorship, all that stuff. So you might as well just put yourself out there. You know, it's like a market out there. Everyone's going for the same thing. So if you stand out, you stand out. If you don't, then just let it come to you eventually. Like for me, like I don't push myself brands constantly. Like I do like certain brands. I'll push the brands out only if I like the product. So for like I like Spirit Level. I really like them because I've always used them since apprenticeship. And then when they brought out the digital level, I just love their product. It's just really good for in what I do for my work. And you know, I push out other brands and stuff like that. But like I said, I push out only when I want to. I'm not going to be like tomorrow I push it out, next day I push it out. I ain't doing that. I just push out when I want to and do it that way. Really.
Have you got ambassadorships and like brand deals?
I did, but I didn't feel comfortable with it after. So I just told them I don't really want to do a ambassador with this company. I'm not going to say the name. And we left in good term. You always try and leave in a good term. And then they said that's fine, good luck. And then I was like, cool, that's it. So, you know, let it come to me when it comes. That's it. I'm not going to push it.
Fair play. I saw you at Installer this year.
Yes, I am going to be at Installer Show. This is the first one actually to do a show really for any company, and from what I heard, it's the biggest show in Europe as well. Which is,
from what I've heard this year, it's kind of so it's not my industry really. I'm going to go on the Wednesday.
Okay.
Just to see, because I'll be honest with you, and anyone listening to this. So when I started the podcast, I've got like a big community within painting and decorating.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
my industry. But I'm starting to grow into others now.
Yeah,
so
of
obviously
course.
you're a carpenter, Alex carpenter, got Danny a roofer. I need to put some effort into growing the Talking Tradesman brand with other companies outside of decorating.
Oh, okay.
We've got some incredible sponsors in the decorating industry, but I'd like to reach out into
definitely
some other brands that are outside of the decorating industry.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to take on more sponsorship from brands inside the decorating industry, but it's just the mission of the podcast to reach as many people as possible.
No, that's it. That's your goal, isn't it? To reach as many people, which is what you're doing. Is a good thing, man. It's like, you know, if I was trying to do it, I have no idea where to start. You must. What made you start this kind of thing, really?
10-year journey, really, Lou, to be honest, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, to condense it really quickly, I went through my own sort of like mental health awakening, I think, where prior to that, I didn't pay any attention. I'd have been one of them lads that would have been like, I haven't got it.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
But then I went through a divorce at 31. Very stressful, sort of traumatic. Not the divorce itself, but like court proceedings.
All that stuff, really.
Yeah, I mean, like, on paper, mate, I did what a lot of people do. You know, the divorce is very common, but on paper, you could say that I lost everything I had. I had to sell my house, sell my car, like everything, all my material assets. So I was a little bit like you, mate. I bought a house at 24, put everything into it, like renovated it and everything. I had to sell it to settle the divorce. And I'm not back on the housing market now. We rent.
Oh, okay.
For one reason and another.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I went through my own sort of mental health awakening where I was made to pay attention to it because I was struggling with a few things.
Yeah.
Then I started getting into education. So my therapy was to learn. So I studied psychology to learn about the mind, the brain, more to understand myself than anything. But then went into a rabbit hole. I was like, I really enjoy this. So I studied psychology, philosophy, stoicism. I studied Buddhism. I studied all this stuff. And then I thought, I might as well do something formal. So I started doing a BSc honours degree in psychology. Got halfway through that and realised it wasn't really taking me where I wanted it to. But I started volunteering at Samaritans to get some practical experience. Overall, it was because, end goal, I'd like to be able to deliver therapy and counselling and help people. But our people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel there's a gap in the market for men like us that are in the trades that want to be able to sit down with somebody that understands.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, rather than like sitting down, and no discredit to any counsellors or therapists that are out there, but if you've come from an academic background and you haven't really got the lived experience that we have.
Yeah.
Like, I know personally, I would rather sit down with somebody that gets it.
Yeah.
Like, when you talk about the stresses and pressures, it's like, I've been there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So started going down that route. And when I was volunteering at Samaritans, I started realising the phone calls I was taking, people in crisis, so many blokes in the trades.
Yeah.
Because you just get talking, you're like, how's work? Like, what's the work situation? You get like, I'm a carpenter, I'm a brickie, I'm a this, I'm a that. And I sat there, I was on shift one day, and I thought, this is weird, because I'm talking to a lot of men in trades.
Yeah.
So I just typed in like statistics around mental health and suicide in construction. I didn't know until that point. And then it come up, it was like the worst industry in the UK.
Wow.
You're 4 times more likely if you're in construction to take your own life than other trades or other industries. You know, 2 men a day and all this lot. And I was like, whoa.
That is very high, isn't
This
it?
is bad. And I went home and had a conversation with Ange one day, and I just went, I feel like I need to do something that combines the education that I've now got and the experience I've gained through working at Samaritans. And I just offhand said, maybe I could do a podcast and just talk to people.
Yeah.
And here we are now.
It. Yeah, fair play to you.
It's just gone like...
It's gone massive.
Snowballed.
Yeah, it's a domino, that snowball effect, that's it, yeah. So, no, fair play to you, Russ, man.
But the thing it gave me, mate, which, you know, potentially you can take something away from, gave me a purpose. Because I was lacking that. And what I've talking to a lot of men, it's so important.
Yeah.
You know, and rewinding back to when you said you struggled, you said that it was like, is this it?
Yeah.
So it was that lack of purpose outside of work. So maybe finding something that gives you a secondary purpose.
Yeah.
And that can be anything, mate. That could be travelling. That could be whatever it might be. But I think you've done that anyway. With your holidays, your gym, and your social circle. There's purpose in all of that.
Yeah, that's it. I think my purpose is just spend a lot of money. That's what it sounds like. But
Mate,
why
listen,
not though? Like,
what's money for if it ain't to spend?
that is true. That is true. So yeah, I always get that told as well. You can't take your money to the grave and all that stuff. But then I always come back with a silly one. It's like, you can if you spend your funeral very crazy. You can like put 24 karat coffin and stuff like that.
Whatever's in my bank when I go,
I'm taking it with
spend
me.
it.
Take it with me. But
Spend
no, but like I said, no, fair play. What you're doing is really outstanding for the course and
But
stuff.
it gives me a purpose, mate. It's, you know, people say, about
Does it give you that drive as well?
Yeah. It's one of the things I learned, right? I won't go too deep with it.
No.
One of the things I learned when I studied Buddhism, I'm not religious, by the way.
No, same,
I'm
yeah.
not a Buddhist, as it were, but I agree. Some of their teachings, mate, it's more like philosophy. And one of the major takeaways I got from studying Buddhism is the Buddhist philosophy that happiness is found in service to others.
Okay.
Right? So, and you can translate that, like, if you do something good for somebody, how does it make you feel?
feels good, really. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you can keep doing that, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Okay.
So
okay.
if ultimately how you feel is how you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're feeling good in here, everything around you feels good. So that's what I've done in terms of, right, okay. And I'll be honest with you, mate, I hadn't really done that before. Like helping people was never, don't get me wrong, I was never what I would refer to as a bad person, but purposefully helping people was never on my radar.
Okay.
And then going to Samaritans and helping people, it was like this light bulb, this switch of like, that's ticking a box I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was coming off shift and being like, I feel good.
Yeah. You
I feel good about myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, people say it's selfless. Really, it's not, because you're doing it because of how it makes you feel. Like helping people makes me feel good. So I'm just leaning into that.
That's cool,
and,
man.
and doing everything I can. And if more people in the world did that, like, it would just be a better place, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. But there's obviously, if we can push it out there, that'd be amazing. But there is some people doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, of course, mate. You can only focus on yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but for me, doing the podcast has given me a purpose outside of work.
Yeah.
I was very similar to you, mate. I was so business focused. I've been all my life. I've always owned my business. I've had different businesses, and I've always been very like profit, loss, work, blah blah blah. I've always enjoyed a holiday. In
Yeah,
fairness.
of course. Yeah.
But family, and everything I do is for my family, but a lot of that's financial. So it was kind of like a bit of me time, really. Like a bit of me time, but doing something that makes me feel good about myself.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, you know, people got their own hobbies. That's their own time, isn't it? So no, fair play, man. Like what you're doing is amazing. Like I said before, so fair play to you. That's what I can say to you, Russ.
Thank you, mate. No, it does mean a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's wicked for me, man, because it's like the podcast situation's kind of building its own little community now, and it's great to have you coming in today and now being a part of this. So everybody, I've said so many times, man, I'm so grateful for everyone like yourself that have been a part of it, because without you, I'd be sat here talking to the brick wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's you guys that are actually making the podcast. Like, I'm providing the platform.
Yeah.
But without everybody going,
Willing to open them.
yeah, we need this.
Yeah.
Like, we need to make a change for our industry, because like, some of the best people in the world are in this industry.
Oh yeah.
Like, absolute diamonds, salt of the earth. And there's a lot of people struggling, but there's some cracking people, you know? So one of the things I've said, and it's a big statement, I'm like, we need to save ourselves, because nobody's coming to help us.
No, it's just on you, or that's it, really. It's just on yourself, really. So no, fair play. So
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
that's all good. That's all good.
It sounds like you're on the right. I mean, there's a question for you in that.
Am I on the right path?
How would you say your mental health is right now as we stand?
Feels really good, to be fair. Like straight, not narrow-minded. Like I'm more open to things. Like now, I can see myself more open to things, more laid back on certain things. Don't get too serious on everything. Just mentally. So my mental health is really good. I'm happy to say that. So
Fucking brilliant, mate.
you know, I do have the odd times. Like I'm not saying it's perfect, but you know, I could just pick up the phone and give a call. Ain't no good night ting, you know what I mean? It's more like I'm going through this, you know.
You feel you can do that now?
Yeah,
really?
I'm not gonna be like, nah, throw the phone away. I do it. Just do it.
Do you think that you would recognise the signs of burnout sooner now?
I do. Yeah, I can definitely see the sign. I'll be like, I'm getting too tired. My mind is draining. I'm like, yep, take a break. Take it off, or just sort something out. So yeah, I can definitely see that way earlier than before.
Brilliant, mate. That's the lesson in it, though,
Yeah.
isn't it? I mean, I guess to anyone to put it out to anyone that's listening, as somebody that's been through it, what advice would you give to anybody that might be? So you said yourself that there were days when you were driving home and you had them dark thoughts.
Yeah.
If somebody else is listening to this now that might be in that similar position, what advice would you give?
Oh, I would say just like, if you were like thinking dark thoughts, speak to someone about it. Like, get home or pull to the side, pick up a phone, just try and call someone. Just say, look, I need help. What should I do? talk to them for a couple of minutes or hours, however long, it makes you feel better, really. As well, you know, if you can, speak to your family members as well, not just your friends. Speak to anyone, your loved ones and stuff like that, really. Just be open about it, that's it. Just be open about it. Take it on, take the advice, and then if you do need more help, then go through therapy. But I always say just the first step is speak to someone. It's always good to speak to someone. If you don't,
spot on, mate.
If you hold it in you, like, it hurts like hell, man. It feels like someone's squashing your chest. Like, it does for me. But now, once I spoke out, when I even put that post, my weight off my shoulder, man, it felt really good. Like, chest, like, feel a bit better to breathe. And yeah, so speak to someone. First thing is speak to someone. That's it. Don't keep it holding yourself.
Mate, it's such simple advice, but it's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally that sign in front of you there says, let's talk.
Talk about it. Yeah, let's talk.
That's what it is, man. It's the power. Like, talking about it can literally save lives.
That's it, man.
It's step one. It's step one as well. If you talk to people and they don't know what exactly to do, at least they can signpost you over to this organisation or that organisation.
That's it. So, like I said, always, you know, if that person that really knows suggest, but they can help you to get advice, that's another step, really. You know, not everyone will know what to do, so they can just try and help research it for you. And look, I found this for you, mate. Maybe have a go at that. That might work. So, you know, like I said, just talk about it. That's my advice.
That's perfect. No, thank you. Massive thanks for opening up as well, man, and talking about your story, because it's exactly that will go out there and help people.
Hopefully it does, man. Like, I hope whoever's listening to this, like, hope this message just push it forward. You know, pass it along. Doesn't hurt to talk about it, mate.
Is there anything we haven't spoken about, Lou, that you wanted to cover today?
Not really. That's just what I really want to talk about. Is what me open about.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, mate, it's perfect. Yeah, it's just I always ask that question just in case there's anything, you know, that you were on your way up here and thinking, oh, I want to cover this, that, and the other, and we just hadn't got round to it in the convo. But
no, I'm chill, man. Like what I want to talk about is this. Really, that's what I really want to talk about today.
Appreciate it, mate. It's really fucking important.
No, yeah, definitely.
Well, before we do wrap things up, then just let everybody know where they can find you if they don't follow you already.
Well, you can find me on Instagram, LL_Carpentry and Joinery, or on TikTok as well, same. And then that's it, really.
How are you finding TikTok?
I'm all right with it. I don't post much on TikTok, really, but I'll get the odd toxic comment. But, you know, if you get the odd toxic comment, just fucking ignore it. I don't care. Like, all I can see is you're boosting up my page, and if it's not, I don't give a damn. It's like, it's just a page at the end of the day. Like, if you people get too focused on social media too much.
Yeah.
Damn, that takes a toll on your head, mine as well, man. Like,
it's hard, Lou, innit? Because I think the people you see the most on social media, the likes of, you know, some of your friends, my friends, who are doing really, really well, you see them at the top of the mountain. You don't see the path that they had to...
Yeah, they had to go through. And then people be like, I look shit. I was like, bruh, that's why. But you know what? Fuck it. Leave it. Don't care. Like, I'm only putting what I think is good, or what I'm see them putting their stuff out. That's up to them. Like, they're doing well. If they don't put that, how would they got themselves up to the top? You know what I mean? Yeah. So you're just part of the community to watching that video. Then that's your stupidity, really. If you don't like it, then don't fucking watch it. Simple as that. Or don't follow
mate.
it.
Just got to be yourself. And
just be myself. Like I said, a lot of people say, like, fucking hell, why are you speaking this and that? I was like, it's just part of my linguistic, I could say. Lou,
it makes you stand out. Like, everyone knows you for that. They're like,
I know.
Oh, blood clot, Lou.
Blood clot, I know. That's the problem when you work with someone. Is like, I was working with a Rastafarian for a while, and then, it just stuck with me. it's just stuck with it, so I go with it. Like,
I actually think people, when they listen back to this, are going to be disappointed at the lack of blood clots that was in it.
Well, you know, in a serious talk, you know, like, if I was in a
blood clot got put away for the serious convo.
Like, if it was a funny podcast, blood clot, but we're in a proper blood clot serious talk, you know what I mean? But, you know, like, I don't know. Sometimes it just comes out. If it comes out at the right time, like I say, is it meant to be taught? If it's serious talk, you won't say it like that. You know, I wouldn't say to a client, yo, blood clot, I'm here to look at a job, innit? I wouldn't say that until they see my Instagram. They're like, yo, Rascal, like, yo, fire, shot fire. I remember there's one client, she always sees me on Instagram and she was like, yo, blood clot, when you gonna do more? I was like, ras clot. You know what I mean? I know, I was like, ratted. But then there's this one client, proper Jamaican as well, like her mum, oh my days. She keeps thinking I'm born from Jamaica. I was like, nah, I'm not born from Jamaica. I just talk like that. I just work someone who's from Jamaica. They're like, raz, me Aries, and I was like, no, man. No, man. I mean, that's it. All right, sister, I'll let you do all the thing in it.
There you go.
know, but yeah.
Now you've had your fix, man.
You had my fix. You got my blood clot. You can take that as a ringtone, you know. Whatever you want to do your thing in it. So, do your thing.
So it's been a fucking pleasure, mate.
Thank you for
again,
having
mate.
me,
Massive
respect,
thank you, my bro.
Respect that.
Before we wrap things up, big thank you to the Funky Peach for the guest merchandise. Anyone looking for any workwear, go and check those guys out. Another thanks to Steve over at Uncle Matt's Hats. I'll be sending Lou away with one of your caps. And yeah, thank you for listening this far. I keep forgetting to say this, but anyone that is listening, please like, share, follow, subscribe, depending on whatever platform you're on. It does make a massive difference to the podcast, helps boost it in the algorithms, get to more people, and that's what we're trying to do.
Come on.
So, massive thank you for listening. Catch you soon on the next one.
Peace.